In this video, we're going to check out some weird and obscure content, and I guarantee I will either unlock a core memory or introduce you to some things you didn't know about just yet. So whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you use an empty bucket on the well which is used to enter the Barrow's Rise of the Six boss arena, items will spawn for just a few seconds before disappearing and leaving your empty bucket filled with water. In the middle of the Ogre City, south of Yanil, there's a chest you can open every few minutes. This chest will give you nothing at all, bones, a cut emerald, a rotten apple, or spawn a couple of different NPCs like spiders and chaos dwarves. In Zonaras, there's an NPC that will heal you if you trade her some cut gems. What's interesting is that the amount of health isn't shown on your character as a healing hit splat and simply added to your life point. Now, the reason I don't think many players will know about this bit of content is because it's pretty much useless and you can only access the gems for life points trade if you've completed the Lost City quest but haven't completed the Fairy Tale Part 1 quest. While not exactly cost efficient, if you ever find yourself in a situation without food inside Zonaras and you have some cut diamonds on you, heal back up at fair enough. If you've trained the archaeology skill, chances are you visited the Everlight dig site, as it's unlocked fairly early on in your archaeology journey. Now, it's unlikely, but did you ever spot this helmet sitting in the bushes just next to the statue of Hebe? Well, you can pick up this helmet, and while it does require level 80 defense to wear, you can simply keepsake it as a fashion-scaping item. Something in me wishes we could recolor this item, as you could make a lot of really good looking outfits. Speaking of cool items you can keepsake, how many of you remember Holy Water? This item, created during and after the Legends quest, is one of the most powerful RuneScape items, tier for tier, at least against specific creatures, being demons. To create Holy Water after the quest, you need to make a golden ball created with 2 golden bars at any anvil, a bull roarer, and the Book of Binding. You can easily reclaim the Bull Roarer from Maze Quest Caravan in Varrock and the Book of Binding from your player-owned house's bookshelf, if owned. Next, grab some vials and head over to the most southern part of Karamja, where you need to go through some dense forestation. Then use the Bull Roarer to spawn an NPC. This NPC, when talked to, can bless your golden ball. Next, head over to this water pool and use your Book of Binding to enchant some regular vials and turn them into enchanted vials. Cut some reeds next to the pool and use them on the pool to fill up your bowl. Now combine your enchanted vials with that enchanted ball of water and voila, you can make holy water, 15 per filled bowl. If you're going to be making a lot of these, you will need to actually drop your golden ball every time you've created one, as you can't make one while having one in your inventory at an anvil. Now, like I said, this item is incredibly strong for its tier against demons, and that includes greater demon ashlords and berserkers. Compared to a rune crossbow, which is also a level 50 ranged weapon, you go from 23% accuracy to 56% just wielding this weapon over a rune crossbow. That's insane. One of the weirdest forms of RuneScape transportation is the Ogre Boat. This method of transportation is unlocked during and accessible after the Scratch Uglogwi NPC from the Recipe for Disaster quest series. The Ogre Boat can solely be used to travel from and to the filled up hills from Karamja, or the other way around. Instead of paying through coin, the Ogre Boat requests you pay them with items depending on where you're traveling from. If traveling from the filled up hills to Karamja, they request 2 cooked chompies. If going from Karamja to the filled up hills, they request 2 glug glug herbs. If you go a little bit to the south and search these marshy jungle vines, you'll be able to get snakeweed, which you can use on the Ogre Boat to get from Karamja to the filled up hills. I'm not sure if this method of transportation is used like ever, but now you know. If you push open this memorial located close to the Canifis herb patch after the Creatures of Frankenstein quest, you'll be able to access an area you might have forgotten existed called the Experiment Cave. In this cave, you'll find some of RuneScape's most disturbing creatures, being experiments. These include Spider-Men, sheepdogs, and of course the Wolf Woman. Interestingly, unlike the other two, you cannot harm the Wolf Woman after completing the quest, in which you kill it or her for a key. Instead, you're presented with this chat message. Now, the average adventurer would say, okay, so you're not supposed to kill this NPC after completing the quest. But I'm no average adventurer. No, I decided to whip out the big guns. As it turns out, you're not able to use any type of cannon to take out the Wolf Woman. You can, however, use a Blood Fury and a Ring of Recall, and both will deal damage to the Wolf Woman and eventually you can still kill her after the quest. Didn't see that one coming now, did you, Jagex? While I was looking for some weird creatures, I also found these otherworldly beings inside Zonaras, and these are apparently a Slayer task assigned by Machsna. Probably because I never used the Machsna Slayer Master, but still though, like I don't remember these creatures being here at all, or I just wasn't paying attention. There exist a couple of 100% dead agility courses in RuneScape, although the one I'd like to talk about is the one you can access after the Death to Dorgashun quest. It's called the Dorgesh Khan Agility Course and requires level 80 agility and a light source like a candle or fire making cape. This agility course is a bit weird. You go down a pair of stairs to speak to an NPC called Turgal for firstly a spanner, and to ask him which items you need to fetch from the other side of the course. So it's kind of like the One Small Favor quest, except it's an agility course. Now to get the items the OSHA employee requests, you're going to need to traverse either the agility or grappling route, both of which do award agility experience for successfully surpassing obstacles. The grappling route also provides strength and ranged XP. Now, I'll refer to the routes as heavy and light because the item you plan to retrieve for Turgal will depend on which route you take if you want to maximize XP. After traversing the course through either route, you need to grab a part from the boiler or console. If it's a heavy item, you'll fill the course by taking the light, aka grappling route back. Bringing back the right heavy item through the heavy course will award you 2052 extra agility experience. Bringing back the right light item through the light course will reward you with an additional 1142 ranged XP. Now if you bring back the right heavy item by starting with the light course and then going back using the heavy course, you'll be rewarded with 1216 agility experience, but it's a lot faster. Is the course worth doing at level 80 agility? Well, unless you like old school RuneScape XP rates, then no. If you use the NPC contact spell and contact a random NPC, you'll get some funny dialogue options in which your character truly is a menace.
Hello.
What do ya want for tea? And it better not be a baguette. Don't ignore me, Protox. Why won't people talk to me? I'll beat you up.
If you keep contacting random NPCs, you'll eventually talk to a man who's on the toilet, which will get you a unique achievement called Is This a Bad Time? There is a cave complex beneath Karamja which you access during the Legends quest called the Vidi Caves. It is located in the most southern part of Karamja, and once you go inside you have to go through a bunch of obstacles. To get inside the room we're going to be talking about, you need to open this ancient gate by using the Charge Earth Orb spell. Once inside, it's just you with a bunch of smashable barrels. Now these barrels drop a lot of random items like food and uncut gems, and two types of tickets. One is a ship ticket used for boat rides, and the other is one of RuneScape's weirder items called the Paramaya ticket. These tickets only seem to have a single use, and that is to access the dormitory in the Paramaya Inn. In RuneScape Classic, however, this did have a purpose, as you'd gain access to a bed, allowing you to lower your fatigue percentage. Apparently, if your fatigue reaches 100%, you would no longer be able to gain experience from training skills, so you would have to use a bed, at least back then. According to the RuneScape Classic fandom wiki, this system was added as a mechanic to stop macro errors, which failed because they just added a line of code to auto-sleep. I just learned something, and I hope you did as well. With that being said, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.